картки зв'язку. І будемо розпочинати переходити до наших занять. Так, у вас 9, бачу тільки 2 плюсики. Три плюсики. І вас 10. Тому чекаю на ваш відгук, чи добре видно, чутно. Ні, справді, друзі, це важливо, тому що якщо більшість не буде бачити і чути, то просто це значить якісь проблеми з сайтом чи зі зв'язком і так далі. Це важливо. Добре. Окей, будемо розпочинати. Розпочинаємо ми, як завжди, з цитати. І перша цитата на сьогодні це. It is during our darkness moments that we must focus to see the light. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Так, як завжди, я чекаю вашого перекладу, пояснення англійською мовою. Як завгодно, тільки спілкуйтесь. Так, не бачу ваших коментарів. Друзі, включайтесь. Не може бути так, що ви просто слухаєте і насолоджуєтесь. Ні, треба трішки теж попрацювати. Тим більше, це останнє заняття, це в ваших інтересах, щоб я вас повиправляла чи підказала як краще і так далі. Ми вчимося всі на помилках, тому якщо ви дійсно хочете вивчити англійську мову і хочете знати, в чому ваші помилки, на що звернути увагу, то, звісно, я б вам радила писати ці коментарі, ці відгуки, пояснення англійською і так далі. Якби я це все знаю, я це все зробити можу, а от ви прийшли сюди для того, щоб ми вам допомогли з цим. Тому писати це чи ні, це, звісно, ваша справа, але я б рекомендувала, поки маєте цей шанс, його використати. Так, крізь значно найтемніші моменти ми повинні націлитись, щоб побачити світло, так, або сфокусуватись. Так, або під час наших темних моментів, ми повинні зосередитися, щоб побачити світло. To see the light things through the dark stripes in your life. Yes, great. In all the dark moments, you need to focus to see the light. Добре, може бути і так. Okay. And the next quote for today is: Change your thoughts and you change your world. І тут я б вже наполягала, щоб ви писали, як ви її розумієте, що вона може значити. Change your thoughts and you change your world. Так, по-перше, all problems, тому що всі проблеми, має бути множина, are in our heads. Не забувайте про те, що в англійській мові все ж таки мусить іти am, is, are. Це обов'язково. В нас ми можемо пропустити є, але в них ні. Так. Change your thoughts and you change your world. Зміни свої думки, і ти зміниш свій світ. When you change your thoughts, you change your life. Okay. What else? Що ще? Так, чи ще в нас якісь бажаючі щось пояснити? Change your thoughts and you change your world. It's, for example, when you have positive thoughts, just good and positive things happen to you. And when you are always negatively, when you're always negative, just bad things happen to you, for example, might be. By changing our thoughts, we can see the problem from the other side. Yeah, great, super. Чудово. When we will think in another way, the world will be another in positive way. Yes. Ось ці два останніх пояснення, дві останні ваші фрази дуже гарно сказано, правильно і супер-супер. By changing our thoughts, we can see the problem from the other side, or when we will think in another way, the world will be another in positive way. Okay. And the last quote for today is, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. So how do you guys understand this quote? Someone is sitting in the shade today, shade це тінь, because someone planted a tree a long time ago. So I'm waiting for your explanations. Today is the best day to think about future. Yes, great, very good, really very good. Thanks a lot. Yeah, you are welcome. Thank you. So, one more time. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. So, who want to put a comment? You need to do that, guys. Really, you need to do that. We must think about future, yes, and we must be grateful for everything we have. For example, we must be grateful for our parents, what they are doing or what they done. And what guys you think about that? Так, пишіть ще мені декілька коментарів і будемо переходити до наступної частинки нашої. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. So, okay, if you don't want to, we can go to the next part, which is checking our homework. Отож, не думайте, що це все. Це лише перша і малесенька частинка. Треба перекласти ці слова. А саме кусати, жувати, ковтати, пити малесенькими ковточками, жадібно їсти і ковтати жадібно або швидко. Так, даю вам на це максимум від сили 2 хвилини. Так, якщо хтось готовий, а я сподіваюся, що ви вже всі готові, бо тут немає що просто перекладати, то пишіть плюси мені і будемо перевіряти. Так, плюсики є. And I hope we can check it. So, bite. For example, don't bite off more meat than you can comfortably chew. Chew. For example, you should chew each bite well before you swallow. Жувати. Swallow. If you swallow too much, you might choke on your food. Це ковтати. Sip. It's the best to slowly sip a cocktail rather than gulp it down. Guzzle. He guzzled a glass of water after he finished the job. Gulp down. He hungrily gulped down the meal as he was very hungry. And the next part is here. На неї я вам також даю 2 хвилини. Або, добре, 3 хвилини. І, звісно ж, як напишете, то пишіть в коментарі. Так, як допишете, не забувайте про плюсики. І рекомендую вам зробити це швидше, тому що це ще не все. А у нас сьогодні величезний текст, скажімо так. So, let's check it. Peel, pour, sift, slice, steer, tenderize, wash, and weigh. The next part is, and it is the last part. Так, на це вам буде трішки більше часу. Давайте 5 хвилин і перевіримо. Так, маєте ще 4 хвилинки. І будемо перевіряти. Плюсики, добре. Okay, so let's go and check it. Add, bake, barbecue, beat, boil, break, chop, fry, grate, knead, melt, and mince. Так, і пишіть мені, скільки у вас помилок. І хочу вам сказати таке, що якщо у вас більше, ніж 5 помилок сьогодні, то я рекомендую вам повторити дуже добре ці слова, або вивчити їх і перевчити, довчити і так далі, тому що вони важливі для нашого екзамену. Zero. So that's great. That's really, really great. Супер. Тоді це чудово. Дві, одна це теж непогано. Молодці. Добре. І тоді йдемо далі. Як ви думаєте, про що піде мова? Судячи з цієї картинки. And in English, please. Interview, greeting, yeah, what else? Communication. Yeah, we're gonna talk about job interview or how to answer the 31 most common interview questions. So, and I'll show you these questions, like 15 of them. And you need to listen to me, and I will give you the answers for all of them. So the first question is, can you tell me a little about yourself? This question seems simple, so many people fail to prepare for it, but it's crucial. Here is the deal. Don't give your complete employment or personal history. Instead, give a pitch, one that's show exactly why you are right fit for the job. Start off with the 2-3 specific experiences, for example, that you most want the interviewer to know about. Then wrap up talking about how that prior experience has positioned you for this specific role. So how could you answer this question? Як би ви відповіли на це питання, якби вам задали його на інтерв'ю, на співбесіді? Guys, hello. How would you answer to this question? Okay, let's go to the next one. How did you hear about the position? Another similarly innocuous interview question. This is actually a perfect opportunity to stand out and show your passion for and connection to the company. For example, if you found out about it through a friend or professional contact, name drop that person, then share why you were so excited about it. If you discovered the company through an event or article, share that. Even if you found the listing through a random job board, share what specifically caught your eye about the role. So, the question number 3. What do you know about the company? You need to know that any candidate can read the company's About page. So when interviewers ask this, they aren't necessarily trying to know if you understand the mission. They want to know whether you care about it. Start with one line that shows you understand the company's goals, using a couple key words and phrases from the website, but then go on to make it personal. Say, I'm personally drawn to this mission because, or I really believe this is approach because, and share a personal example or two. Number 4. Why do you want this job? Again, companies want to hire people who are passionate about the job, so you should have a great answer about why you want the position. And if you don't, you probably should apply elsewhere. First, identify a couple of key factors that make the role a great fit for you. For example, I love customer support because I love the constant human interaction and the satisfaction that comes from helping someone solve a problem. And then share why you love the company. For example, I have always been passionate about education and I think you guys are doing great things, so I want to be a part of it. Why should we hire you? The interview question seems forward, but if you're asked it, you're in luck. There is no better setup for you to sell yourself and your skills to the hiring manager. Your job here is to craft an answer that covers 3 things. That you can not only do the work, you can deliver great results, that you are really fit in with the team and culture, and that you'd be a better hire than any of the other candidates. So, why should we hire you? And the next one is, what are your greatest professional strengths? When answering this question, Share your true strength, not those you think the interviewer wants to hear. They need to be relevant. Choose your strengths that are most targeted to this particular position. And specific. For example, instead of people skills, choose persuasive communication or relationship building, for example. Then follow up with an example of how you've demonstrated these traits in a professional setting. The next question is, what do you consider to be your weaknesses? What your interviewer is really trying to do with this question, beyond identifying any major red flags, is to check your self-awareness and honesty. So, I can't meet a deadline to save my life is not an option. But neither is nothing, I'm perfect. Strike a balance by thinking of something that you struggle with but you are working to improve. For example, maybe you've never been strong at public speaking, but you are recently volunteered to run meetings to help you to be more comfortable when addressing a crowd. Number 8. What is your greatest professional achievement? Nothing says hire me better than a track record of achieving amazing results in past jobs. So don't be shy when answering these interview questions. So set up the situation and the task that you were required to complete to provide the interviewer with background context. For example, in my last job as a junior analyst, it was my role to manage the invoicing process. But spend the bulk of your time describing what you actually did, the action, and what you achieved, the result. For example, in 1 month, I streamlined the process, which saved my group 10 man hours each month and reduced errors on invoices by 25%. Question number 9, or not question. Tell me about a challenge or conflict you faced at work and how you dealt with it. In asking this behavioral interview question, your interviewer wants to get a sense of how you will respond to conflict. Anyone can seem nice and pleasant in a job interview, but what will happen if you are hired and ladies in compliance starts getting in your face? Again, you'll want to use the method, one interesting method, being sure to focus on how you handled the situation professionally and productively, and ideally closing with a happy ending, like how you came to a resolution or compromise. The next question is, I think, the most popular. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If asked this question, be honest and specific about your future goals, but consider this. A hiring manager wants to know: A. If you've set realistic expectations for your career, if you have ambition, because this interview isn't the first time you're considering the question, and if the position aligns with your goals and growth. Your best bet is to think realistically about where this position could take you and answer along those lines. And if the position isn't necessarily a one-way ticket to your aspirations, it's okay to say that you are not quite sure that the future holds, but that you see this experience playing an important role in helping you make that decision. Number 11. What's your dream job? Along similar lines, the interviewer wants to uncover whether this position is really in line with your ultimate career goals. While an NBA star might get you a few laughs, a better bet is to talk about your goals and ambitions and why this job will get you closer to them. You might have a question: what other companies are you interviewing with? Companies ask this for a number of reasons, from wanting to see what the competition is for you to sniffing out whether you are serious about this industry. Often, the best approach is to mention that you are exploring a number of other similar options in the company's industry. It can be helpful to mention that a common characteristic of all the jobs you're applying to is the opportunity to apply some critical abilities and skills that you possess. For example, you might say, I am applying for several positions with IT consulting firms where I can analyze client needs and translate them to development teams in order to find solutions to technology problems. Why are you leaving your current job? This is a toughie. And guys, do you know what the word toughie means? Guys, the word toughie. Я вже пишу вам, як воно пишеться. Toughie. Toughie – це хуліган. A toughie question. Так, в нас тут є питання Why are you leaving your current job? This is a toughie, тобто це питання з подковирки, як би я сказала. So, this is a toughie, but one you can be sure you'll be asked. Definitely keep this positive. You have nothing to gain by being negative about your past employers. Instead, frame things in a way that shows that you are eager to take on new opportunities and that the role you're interviewing for is a better fit for you than your current or last position. For example, I'd really love to be part of product development from beginning to end, and I know I'd have that opportunity here. And if you were let go, keep it smile. Unfortunately, I was let go. It's a totally okay answer. Why were you fired? Okay, if you get the admittedly much tougher follow-up question as to why you were let go, and the truth isn't exactly pretty, your best bad is to be honest. The job-seeking world is small after all, believe me. But it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. Share how you've grown and how you approach your job and life now as a result. If you can position the learning experience as the advantage for this next job, even better. Number 15, I have it here. Why are you looking for in a new position? What are you looking for in a new position? And I have a small hint for you. Ideally, the same things that this position has to offer. Be specific. Let's go to the next part. What type of work environment do you prefer? Once again, small hint. Ideally, one that is similar to the environment of the company you're applied to. Again, be specific. And the next question is, what is your management style? The best managers are strong but flexible. And that's exactly what you want to show off in your answer. Think sometimes like something like, while every situation and every team member requires a bit of a different strategy, I tend to approach my employer relationship as a coach. Then share a couple of your best managerial moments, like when you grew your team from 5 to 15 or coached an underperforming employee to become the company's top salesperson. The next question might be, what's a time you exercised leadership? Depending on what's more important for that role, you'll want to choose an example that showcases your project management skills. Spearheading a project from end to end, for example, or one that shows your ability to confidently and effectively rally a team. And remember, the best stories include enough detail to be believable and memorable. Show how you were a leader in the situation and how it represents your overall leadership experience and potential. Number 19. What's a time you disagreed with a decision that was made at work? So guys, remember, everyone disagrees with the boss from time to time. But in asking this interview question, hiring managers want to know that you can do so in a productive, professional way. You don't want to tell the story about the time when you disagreed, but your boss was being a jerk and you just gave in to keep the peace. And you don't want to tell the one you realized you were wrong. Tell the one where your actions made a positive difference on the outcome of the situation, whether it was a work-related outcome or a more effective and productive working relationship. So, how would your boss and coworkers describe you? First of all, First of all, be honest. Remember, if you get this job, the hiring manager will be calling you former bosses and coworkers. Then, try to pull out strengths and traits you haven't discussed in other aspects of the interview, such as your strong work ethic or your willingness to pitch in on other projects when needed. The next question is, why was there a gap in your employment? If you were unemployed for a period of time, be direct and to the point about what you have been up to, and hopefully that's a litany of impressive volunteer and other mind activities, like blogging or taking classes. Then steer the conversation toward how you will do the job and contribute to the organization. I decided to take a break at the time, but today I'm ready to contribute to this organization in the following ways. Can you explain why you changed career paths? Don't be thrown off by this question. Just take a deep breath and explain to the hiring manager why you have made the career decisions you have. More importantly, give a few examples of how your past experience is transferable to the new role. This doesn't have to be a direct connection. In fact, it's often more impressive when a candidate can make seemingly irrelevant experience seem very relevant to the role. How do you deal with pressure or stressful situations? Choose an answer that shows that you can meet a stressful situation head on in a productive, positive manner, and let nothing stop you from accomplishing your goals. Accomplishing your goals. A great approach is to talk through your go-to stress reduction and making the world's greatest to-do list, stopping to take 10 deep breaths, and so on. And then share an example of a stressful situation you navigated with ease. What would your first 30, 60, or 90 days look like in this role? So, start by explaining that you'd need to do to get ramped up. What information would you need? What parts of the company would you need to familiarize yourself with? What other employers would you want to sit down with? Next, choose a couple of areas where you think you can make meaningful contributions right away. For example, I think a great starter project would be diving into your email marketing campaigns and setting up a tracking system for them. Sure, if you get the job, you or your new employer might decide there is a better starting place, but having an answer prepared will show the interviewer where you can add immediate impact and that you are excited to get started. So, question number 25. What are your salary requirements? The number one rule of answering this question is doing your research on what you should be paid by using sites like PayScale and Glassdoor. You are likely come up with a range, and I recommend stating the highest number in that range that applies based on your experience, education, and skills. Then, make sure the hiring manager knows that you are flexible. You are communicating that you know your skills are valuable, but that you want the job and are willing to negotiate. So, the next question might be, what do you like to do outside of work? Interviewers ask personal questions in an interview to see if candidates will fit in with the culture and give them the opportunity to open up and display their personality too. In other words, if someone asks about your hobbies outside of work, it's totally okay to open up and share what really makes you tick. Do keep it semi-professional though. Saying you like to have a few beers at the local hot spot on Saturday night is fine. Telling them that Monday is usually a rough day for you because you always hungover is not. Remember. Number 27. If you were an animal, which one would you want to be? Seemingly random personality test type questions like this come up in interviews generally because hiring managers want to see how you can think on your feet. There is no wrong answer here, but you will immediately gain bonus points if your answer helps you share your strengths or personality or connect with the hiring manager. And a small pro tip: come up with styling tactic to buy yourself some thinking time, such as saying, "Now, that is a great question. I think I would have to say," and something like that. Number 28. Um, this is a little bit weird question, but still. How many tennis balls can you fit into a limousine? Hmm? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000? Seriously? Well, seriously. You might get asked brain teaser questions like this, especially in quantitative jobs. But remember that the interviewer doesn't necessarily want an exact number. He wants to make sure that you understand what's being asked of you, and that you can set into motion a systematic and logical way to respond. So just take a deep breath and start thinking through the math. Yes, it's okay to ask for a pen and paper. Question number 29. Are you planning on having children? So remember that questions about your family status, gender, how would you handle managing a team of all men, nationality, where were you born, religion, or age are illegal, but they still get asked, and frequently. Of course, not always with ill intent. The interviewer might just be trying to make conversation, but you should definitely tie any questions about your personal life or anything else you think might be inappropriate. Back to the job at hand. For this question, think, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm very interested in the career paths at your company. Can you tell me more about that? So, question number 30. What do you think we could do better or differently? This is a common one at startups. Hiring managers want to know that you not only have some background on the company, but that you are able to think critically about it and come to the table with new ideas. So, come with new ideas. What new features would you love to see? How could the company increase conversions? How could customer service be improved? You don't need to have the company's 4-year strategy figured out, but do share your thoughts and, more importantly, how your interests are show how your interests and expertise would lend themselves to the job. And the last question, but it's very, very important, is, do you have any questions for us? You probably already know that an interview isn't just a chance for a hiring manager to grill you. It's your opportunity to sniff out whether a job is the right fit for you. So what do you want to know about the position, the company, the department, the team? You will cover a lot of this in the actual interview, so have a few less common questions ready to go. They especially like questions targeted to the interviewer. What's your favorite part about working here? Or the company's growth? What can you tell me about your new products or plans for growth? So guys, this is the end. And I just want to know, what do you remember from this text? Let's see. Друзі, що ви запам'ятали з цього тексту? Діліться враженням. Англійською мовою, звичайно. Друзі, включайтесь. Вже ваша черга говорити і писати. Okay, if you don't want to write, let's go to the next part. And the next part is English phrases for job interviews. Phrases for describing yourself. My name is, oh, you all know it. I was born and raised in, but for now I live in. I attended the University of. I've just graduated from. I have worked for 5 years as a. I have worked for various firms including. I enjoy playing. Phrases for explaining why you want this job. I want to take on more responsibility in line with my qualifications. I want to further my career in accounting. Accounting is just an example. I'm impressed by the quality of your products, services. Phrases for describing your profile. I perform well under pressure. I developed some important skills. I am used to working in a busy environment. I have very good people skills. I am a very organized person. I manage my time well by planning out. I am a good at dealing with change. I work well under working pressure. And these are phrases for talking about your strengths. I have always been a great team player. I am an excellent communicator. I am a troubleshooter. I am at multitasking. I am good at resolving problem situations. I am self-motivated. I have very good organizational and time management skills. So, what else? No, not this one. Not this one. Yeah. You need to know some words which we can use instead of these four. Instead of using but, we can say however, although, though, yet. On the other hand, nevertheless. Instead of using also, we can say in addition, as well as, likewise, furthermore, along with, besides, and moreover. Instead of the word therefore, we can use as a result, subsequently, for this reason, hence, thus, so, so then, and consequently. And instead of saying especially, we can say above all, chiefly, in particular, notably, mainly, exclusively. So, and we have two words, work and job. And what is the difference? Work is what you do to earn money, to make money. What kind of work do you do? A job is the particular type of work that you do. Sam's got a job as a writer. Or job can be plural, but work cannot. And let's talk a little bit about question tags. A question tag is a small question at the end of a statement. Question tags are used when asking for agreement or confirmation. So we have a positive statement plus a negative question tag. For example, You are a student, aren't you? Here we have a subject. Pronoun comes after an auxiliary or a form of the verb to be. And a negative statement plus a positive question tag. Mary isn't a teacher, is she? A subject pronoun is used to replace the noun or noun phrase. So intonation and meaning. The intonation of a question tag shows the exact meaning of it. If the intonation of the question tag goes up, it means you are not sure and you want to know the answer. John doesn't speak Spanish, does he? If the information of the question tag goes down, it means you are checking information or making conversation. John doesn't speak Spanish, does he? So, tag questions. If we have present, we form it like your name is Pedro, isn't it? Or negative, she is never late, is she? Then we have present simple. You live downstairs, don't you? You don't live here, do you? Past simple. She studied biology, didn't she? Or they didn't know, did they? And we have past continuous. You were joking, weren't you? You weren't joking, were you? Present perfect. You've done this before, haven't you? You haven't finished yet, have you? Past perfect. He had been in the war, hadn't he? Or they had never been there, had they? Will. You will be okay, won't you? And she won't arrive on time, will we? We won't arrive on time. And when we have modal verbs, it might go like goes. It might goes like. Oh my god, it might go like. She can speak English, can't she? Or you shouldn't be here, should you? So guys, any questions about that? No. Okay. So positive question tags. Question tags are used when asking for agreement or confirmation, as we used to have a negative statement plus a positive question tag. And let's go through some examples. You aren't a teacher, are you? He isn't crazy, is he? He wasn't relaxed, was he? They weren't late, were they? You don't speak French, do you? You didn't study for the test, did you? You haven't been here all week, have you? You hadn't done it before then, had you? You won't fail the exam, will you? You can't drive a car, can you? You couldn't do it for me, could you? We mustn't say anything, must we? You shouldn't be so busy, should you? You wouldn't stop me, would you? So, statements using barely, hardly, neither, no, nobody, known, nothing, and seldom are treated as negative statements. Nobody went to the meeting, did they? Nothing is ready, is it? And negative question tags, it's a positive statement plus a negative question tag. And let's go through this part, question forms. So, object questions. Object questions use the word order, question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus infinitive. For example, where do you work? What did she say? When are they coming? Then we have yes/no questions. Yes/no questions don't use a question word. The answer to the question is yes or no. Does he smoke? Did we win? Have they arrived? Subject questions. When the WH question word is the subject of the question, we don't use an auxiliary verb, do, did, etc. We use the same word order as in an affirmative sentence. Who wants ice cream? What happened? Who ate the cheese? Questions with prepositions. When we use a verb plus preposition expression, but not multi-word verbs such as look for, depend on, write about, etc. We usually keep the verb and preposition together. What did you talk about? Who are you looking for? In very formal English, we sometimes move the preposition to the front of the sentence. You can compare it. What does it depend on? On what does it depend? So this is okay. And let's talk a little bit about apologies. So making apologies and accepting apologies. First of all, let's go through making apologies. What can we say? Not just I'm sorry, but I do apologize for. Please accept my apologies for. Please forgive me for my. Pardon me for this. I am terribly sorry for. Excuse me for. Please forgive me for. I am ashamed of. It's all my fault. Це все моя провина. I shouldn't have. I'm so sorry for. I'd like to apologize for. I apologize for. And I must apologize for. So accepting apologies. It doesn't matter. That's all right. No harm done. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. You couldn't help it. I quite understand. That's okay. Don't mention it. It's okay. Never mind. Don't apologize. No harm done. No need to. So, and let's talk a little bit about the difference between words advice and advice. So, let's have a look on the word advice, which is written with C, A-B-C. This advice, it's a noun, and the other advice is a verb. What does it mean? To advise, that's mean to give an opinion or suggestion to someone about what should be done. And advice as a noun, it's an opinion or suggestion about what someone should do. So let's have a look on the first part. Correct. I don't know what to do. Please advise me. But incorrect form is I have a problem and need some advice. The next part is correct form. Sam had a problem, so I gave him advice. But incorrect form is the father always advises his children. So, asking for advice. We have questions. Is it okay if I do this? And the answer is yes, of course. No, you'd better not. It's considered a bit rude. What should we do, for example, in this situation? If I were you, I would. You can ask, do I need to bring a dish, for example, or to do this? Yes, you should. No, it's not necessary. Or, did I do something wrong? No, of course not. It's okay. We can sort it out. Don't worry about it. And is this a bad time? I can come back later. And the answer is, can you come back in 10 minutes? Not at all, it's fine. And apologizing. Sorry about that, I didn't know. My apologies, I didn't realize. Okay, that's okay. So guys, we don't have enough time to do all this, to do this slide, to do this page. We will start with this page next time. So, and for now, do you have any questions? Do you guys have any questions? No, I don't believe you. You need to have some questions. Чи взагалі ніяких питань немає? Так, друзі, тоді що ж, якщо немає ніяких запитань, то розповідаю вам, що домашнє завдання вже чекає вас на нашому закритому сайті. Ми з вами зустрічаємось у вівторок. Це буде наше 11-те заняття, вже передостаннє, тому підготуйтесь. Підготуйте, будь ласка, зразу запитання, які вас цікавлять. Я вас дуже прошу підготувати питання, тому що, кажу, це останні шанси використати можливість запитати мене про все на світі і дізнатись щось нове, цікаве, що дійсно цікавить вас. Так, бачимось ми з вами у вівторок, як я сказала. Будемо брати, звісно ж, нові теми. Будемо говорити про екзамен. І дякую, що ви сьогодні прийшли. Хоч вас і було маленько, не знаю чому. Але повторю ще раз. Домашнє завдання вже на закритому сайті, а я пішла закидувати вам відеоурок. Дякую, що ви були зі мною. Дякую за вашу активність. Я сподіваюся, що все було гаразд. І на добраніч. See you on the big drum. Bye-bye.